That's it. Affordable with no hidden cost. AA automatic transmissions in the old Cambria section, 591 Depot Street, Christiansburg. Call 540-382-5959.
I wish I found some better sounds no one's ever heard. I wish I had a better voice that sang some better words. I wish I found some chords in an order that is new. I wish I didn't have to rhyme every time I sang. I was told when I get older all my fears would shrink, but now I'm insecure and I care what people think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. My name's Blurry Face and I care what you think. Wish we could turn back time to the good old days when the mama sang us.
It's The Drive on your local radio station. We are ESPN Blacksburg, and a good Thursday afternoon to all of you. My name is Paul Van Wagner, the Cuddle Monster.
Yes.
Trey Lyle. Yes, Trey is in the other studio taking your calls at 866-961-1430. I can hear you getting exasperated with me over there, and I love it. 866-961-1430 is the number to call. You can also text us. The number is exactly the same. It is 866-961-1430. We would love to hear from you today if there's something on your mind. The Reverend Mr. I'm Gonna Steal Your Girl, the Andrew Alex, also here with us today. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing well, Paul.
Excellent.
I'm doing well.
And as always, it's Thursday. It's just after 5:30, and that means this.
Keep my hands to myself. No matter how hard I'm trying to,
Scott Nason.
I won't
Scott.
hold to myself.
Scott Nason.
Scott.
I love Scott. Like a love song, baby. When you're ready, come and get
Scott Nason.
Scott.
Scott Nason. Scott Nason. Scott Nason.
Absolutely, let's go.
Scott Nason joining us today. How are you, my man?
Paul, I am doing wonderful. I am on the road, and I have just pulled into a town that I know you love especially after Saturday. I am in Ashtabula, Ohio, home of the great coach in the Big Ten, Urban Meyer, who owns, and I mean owns, Michigan.
You must have lost a bet or something to go to that crap hole.
I like to go where they win big games here, so I had to go to Ashtabula this week. I didn't go to Ann Arbor.
Yeah, because you can't go to East Landfill either because they don't win anything there, especially in basketball. How's that feel, huh?
Well, they have beat Ohio State over the past few years in football, so I digress.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to start putting their games on the History Channel because that's all you people seem to want to talk about. All right, Scott is here. We're having some fun with each other, and you've got a Thursday night contest tonight, Scott, that on paper looks like it could be pretty decent. Saints, Cowboys. I know a lot of people around here are pulling for the Saints because they want to see the Cowboys lose, Andrew being one of those people.
Oh, yeah.
And what is your take on this contest, Mr. Nason?
Boy, right now, Paul, I don't know how you pick against New Orleans. They're a 7-point favorite on the road, and each week they just seem to be getting better and better. I mean, this is a team, obviously, that has a potent offense right now. You have Kamara and Ingram that are running the ball very effectively. You have Drew Brees, who I know, Paul, you believe is the best quarterback in NFL history.
He is.
Well, you know
the
what?
GOAT.
He's showing that this year. He's at the top of his game, and obviously, Michael Thomas and the usual cast of characters for their receiving core. But it's the defense, I think, that really is what possibly could push the New Orleans Saints over, possibly the Rams or whoever in the NFC to the Super Bowl and perhaps winning the Super Bowl. So, Dallas got themselves back in the division contention with a couple wins over the past couple weeks, but boy, I picked New Orleans the first week in our pick'ems, and they haven't lost since. So maybe I shouldn't pick them. That seems to work, but boy, I don't know how they get stopped tonight. I like New Orleans in this one.
What about New Orleans -7?
Andrew's trying to get some consensus on his for entertainment purposes only.
That is a big line on the road, but again, New Orleans, until they show that they're starting to slump a little bit, I would if I was a betting man, which I am, by the way, I would take the point.
I feel like New Orleans by 22 is a safe line, but that's just me. I could be wrong. Some other games of note, Scott. I'm looking at your backup team right now. Your second favorite team in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers, who seemingly have a pretty easy matchup this week against the Arizona Cardinals in Green Bay. Yet the Packers share something in common with the Browns, and that is their current record of 4-6-1. Scott, what has happened to the Green Bay Packers?
Well, they can't win on the road. They're 0-6 on the road, as we saw last week in Minnesota. I mean, it looked like Green Bay potentially was going to get themselves back in playoff contention, and if they win that game, they pretty much are in the NFC, but it's the defense, I think, that is Green Bay's weakness, which I don't think many people are surprised. But to go 0-6 on the road, to me that baffles me. Now they're taking on Arizona at home. Now there's a 14-point line at home that those that might be interested in wagering might look at. There, that's a lot of points.
Take the Cardinals.
Green Bay has played, but they're pretty good at home as well. So I don't think Green Bay is going to make the playoffs. They'd have to pretty much run the table at this point, but not quite the season I think Packer fans had in mind, especially with Rodgers pretty much being healthy for most of the season.
Interestingly enough, that 0-6 on the road stat, Scott, there's been 336 playoff teams from 1990 through 2017. 10 of those went 2-6 or worse on the road. The 94 Packers were one of those teams. So it's not unheard of, but they would have to absolutely run the table in order for them to make the playoffs at this point.
Yeah, and they really would. And you look at their schedule right now, they still have a couple road games. They're at the Bears. Obviously, that's going to be a tough one. And at the Jets, and, Falcons at home and the Lions. So, I mean, they probably could go 4-1 in that stretch. But, again, I don't think that's enough to get them the playoffs. I think Green Bay's looking to next year, not this year's playoffs.
Melvin Gordon suffers a sprained MCL on Sunday. He could miss the next few weeks. Are you selling the Chargers?
Boy, he's such a big part of that team right now, who is, I think, by most people's account, overachieved. Going to a Pittsburgh team this week that's probably the best matchup in the NFL that struggled in Denver and losing that game. He's a big part of that team, and can the Chargers still make a run and get into the playoffs? Absolutely. They're 8-3, but they need Gordon if they're going to make a run in the playoffs. He's a big loss for that squad.
It took way too long for it to happen, but the Jaguars finally came to their senses and benched Blake Bortles. Too little, too late for that franchise?
They didn't get much better.
They're 3-8, and it's obviously too little, too late for this year. But it took a while, and to some people, you just scratch your head at how it didn't take before this, when they actually, you look at, this is the team that was in the AFC Championship game last year, bringing back a defense that most people feared, and it's been a bad offense and a very underachieving defense that has hurt Jacksonville. I mean, you look at that AFC South, it's a strange conference, their division this year. Houston starts 0-3. They've won 8 straight. Indianapolis was, I think, 1-5, and they've won 6 or 7 straight. And then you have the Jacksonvilles that have hit the other way. But, yeah, long overdue for Jacksonville, but they're looking ahead to next year as well.
Trey has been on the Blake Bortles fan bus on several occasions.
No, I just said they don't have anything better. Cody Kessler is they're going to start. Is he better?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he's much of a drop off.
Yeah,
that's
the thing.
Here's an interesting stat for you guys, and I just pulled this up. Active quarterback streaks right now for starts. No surprise here. Phillip Rivers at 203 is number 1. Matt Ryan at 142 is number 2. Matt Stafford with 123 consecutive starts is 3rd. Russell Wilson at 107 is 4th. 5th with 72 consecutive starts, which will end on Sunday, Blake Bortles.
Wow.
How about that?
Can we add number 3s, please, Paul?
Well, I don't think so, because at least Matt Stafford has some upside, unlike Blake Bortles. But I do agree, Trey. I mean, Cody Kessler, but they being Jacksonville have really no one to blame but themselves in this situation.
It's the reason their offense has struggled is because they've not had Leonard Fournette, which they will not have on Sunday.
Yeah, that is true. That is a good point. But does he make Blake Bortles any better?
Yes, because it focused the offense on the run game. I mean, look at last season when they had Leonard Fournette all year.
Yeah. I suppose that is true. That is true. We're going to get close to making our picks here. I'm going to ask Scott about a couple of more games before we get out of here. The Rams come to town to take on the Lions, Scott. We already talked about the fact that I'm sorry, that's the Chargers that have Melvin Gordon. The Rams come to town to take on the Lions. Can the Lions even keep this thing close in Ford Field?
Well, Paul, I will be there on Sunday, as a matter of fact, in the end zone, voicing my pleasure at the Detroit Lions season and their last 40 years. To answer your question, you never know with the Lions. They seem to overachieve for the teams that they probably shouldn't beat. We've seen that with Carolina. We've seen that with New England.
Yep.
But, boy, this Rams team right now at 10-1, I think the loss at Thanksgiving really deflates the Lions. They have no reason to win this game, and I don't think they do. I think the Rams win by 3 touchdowns, if not more.
Monday night, Andrew is patiently waiting for the Redskins at Philadelphia. Trey is also patiently waiting for that game. What do you think about this contest? This one could go a long way in deciding the NFC East.
I think it does, Paul. I mean, Philadelphia looked like they were going to be almost eliminated from the playoffs against the Giants with that 19-3 lead, but they come back and win. Washington now with Colt McCoy, who had a decent game against Dallas, but he did throw 3 picks. I think the winner of this game does have a good shot because I think that Dallas loses tonight. And, who knows, 9-7 probably wins that division. I like Philadelphia just because they're at home, but this really, I think, is a pick-em game to me.
I like your pick there, Scott. So you're picking the Eagles to win?
I think so, just because they're at home.
Aw, thank you, man.
All right, well, so, Trey, where are we at standings-wise with the pick-em pool?
Well, like I sort of teased, even though said earlier, Andrew Alex still in first place with only 2 losses. Scott Nason pulling right behind with 3 losses after gaining a game last week after Andrew picked the Washington Redskins to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
Not my brightest.
Falling just behind after the hottest eliminator person winning with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 straight correct picks is myself, down 4. And then pulling up the rear is too many to count is JW and Paul.
So you're not even going to give our standings? You've written us off already?
You have 1. All right, Paul. You have 1, 2, 3, 6, and JW has 2, 5, 7.
We're doing fine. We're still in this thing. Mathematically, we're still in it. So let's do this. What did we do last time? Did we go from the?
We went top to bottom. So now we're going to go bottom to top. JW is now on the line.
JW, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, Paul. How are you?
I am well also. All right, my man. You and I are bringing up the rear. We got to start this thing today. So, and coincidentally, interestingly enough, I think you and I are going to the same location. So that is either a very good sign for us or a very bad sign. JW, who you got this week, man?
I'm going to take New Orleans tonight, Paul.
I agree with JW. I think that on paper this should not even be a game. I don't care how many times Zeke Elliott touches the ball. New Orleans is just that doggone good. I also am going to take the New Orleans Saints. JW, here we go, man. We're bringing this thing back. And for the record, the only reason why I'm not taking the Rams is because I took them earlier this season. Trey Lyle, who you got, buddy?
I mean, I need a win to try to keep up with. Try to get back into this. Try to get back into first. Keep my streak alive. I have a good shot of going 10 straight like Andrew did.
Okay.
Or 9 straight because I'm at 6 right now. So I'm going with an easy one this week. The Kansas City Chiefs over the Oakland Raiders.
All right. That doesn't sound like a bad pick. Scott Nason, you currently sit in second place, sir. 1 game behind the Andrew Alex. You need this one, Scotty. Who you got?
Paul, I'm keeping my big teams till the end. I still have the Rams, Kansas City, and Houston, among others. I'm going to go to the West Coast, a team that got a big win on the East Coast last week, taking on a team that's pretty much out of it. Give me Seattle at home against San Francisco.
That's a good pick. That I like. I like that one a lot. Andrew Alex, the leader, been leading since day one. As Trey said, 9 in a row before stumbling.
He's lost 2 of the last 3.
Lost 2 of the last 3. You have to right the ship, sir, because Scott Nason appears to be to have you in his sights.
Don't forget about me.
Scott Nason appears to have you in his sights. Andrew Alex, who are you choosing today?
I will take the Tennessee Titans to beat the New York Jets at home.
Ooh, that's interesting. Scott, how do you feel now about your chances to claim a tie for first place?
Maybe not this week, but again, I'm looking long term because I got my heavy hitters already in the bullpen waiting to get the close or the save, if you will.
And go ahead, Trey.
I feel good. I think Tennessee should win. I think Sam Darnold's coming back for the Jets this week. So.
And I think we just lost JW.
Yeah, he hung up.
He hung up.
Which is too bad because I was going to actually compliment JW. Scott and Andrew will appreciate this without any prompting or prodding from the commissioner. JW actually put a lineup in this week. Yeah. So that's something right there. Scott, where can our listeners get more great content from you, my man?
You can go online to the website, thegamesportshow.com.
And as always, it is a good show. I want you to check it out. You will enjoy it. Scotty, have a great one. Hey, just throwing it out there, since you're already in the butthole of North America, Ohio, if you want to make the trek down, I've got a pair of tickets for the Marshall-Virginia Tech game on Saturday. They're yours if you want them, my man.
Oh, I wish I could, but I got to go see Pistons Golden State Detroit.
All right. Your loss. Have fun in Ohio. I hope nobody punches you. Scott Nason, as always, my man, I'll talk to you real soon. Take care. It's The Drive.
You're listening to ESPN Blacksburg, where sports rule. 93.